Hi, you guys. I'm going to give this just a few minutes, just a couple of minutes actually, because I know it takes a little bit of time for it to catch up with you guys. Do me a favor, and whenever you log on or you're watching, like, give me some hearts or some likes or something so I know you're there. I've never done it on my computer before. I've only done it on my phone, so it's a little different. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Some of you I know, some of you I do not know. For those of you I don't know, my name is Adrienne, and I am a Jamberry consultant. And you've been in my VIP group for a while, so I hope you know who I am. But tonight I'm going to make this really quick and go over application, because I know some of you have been struggling with your application and have some questions. So I just did one hand, and I left my right hand undone. So, and I'm right-handed, so it'll be a little bit more challenging for me, but that's all right. So first, let me show you. This is how a sheet of Jamberry nail wraps come. So there are 18 different wraps on this one sheet in 10 different sizes. So there's enough on here to do 2 manis, 2 petties, and you can actually do a pedicure with just these 2 wraps. You just cut this one right here in half, and you can cut this one into 8ths, and it does all your toes. How awesome is that, right? So that is a regular sheet, and then we also have our junior sheet, and you get 42 wraps on this sheet. And you can see they're formulated the exact same. The only difference is the size. And I could actually wear the juniors. You can see here it would fit, but I'm not going to get quite as many applications out of the juniors sheet as I do the regular sheet. One of these wraps is it's big enough to do the same finger on both hands. So like this one right here is going to do both of my pinkies. So you can kind of see here, I'm not going to use that much of that wrap. I'm only going to use about that much of it. And then I'll use the same amount for the other side, and a lot of times I still have the middle part left over, so I can use that for another application down the road, or I can use it for my toes, or I can give it to one of my daughters to use. There is no shelf life for these. They're vinyl, they're not fingernail polish based, so they're not going to dry out. So once this package is opened, you're still good. It's going to last you years. So this is what I have. This is, I like to cut my sheets in half, because the ones that I'm using, because, hi Kim, it's easier to size, and then I can like give the other half sheet away. I can give it as a gift, or I can give it to one of my daughters or whatever. So this is what I have left after one application. As you do it, the more you do it, you kind of learn which wraps you're going to use. So I know that I'm going to use the first 5. So I can pre-cut those before my application, and I'm ready to go. Speaking of that, let me talk to you really quick about what I use to apply them. So for those of you that don't know, we have this little application kit. This is what comes in the application kit. And these little scissors right here make it so worth the purchase. I don't know if you've ever tried to cut, like use regular scissors to try to cut around the little corners. It's a pain. So these little itty bitty tiny cuticle scissors are awesome. This little cuticle pusher is like Jamberry gold. I love it. And I'll show you how I use all these here in a minute. So this comes in the application kit. And then we also have our little mini heater. I love our heater because it's hands-free and it fits right inside of the application. Should I let my nails? I'll talk to you about that in a second. So I like that everything, and even my nail wraps fit in here, so everything is right here ready to go. I don't have to search for it. So there is that. All right. And it's quiet. I can watch TV and not drive everybody crazy. We also have our toolkit, which is awesome. This right, I cannot even see here. Okay, this right here is the cuticle pusher, metal cuticle pusher. Love, love, love it. Nail prep is probably what gets missed the most. Like the wraps are super easy to apply. The problem comes in when people don't properly prep their nails. A lot of people don't realize that when your fingernail grows out, part of that skin stays attached to your fingernail and it's oily. So if we don't remove that, you might have like the perfect application, and then in a day or two, you might notice that it starts to bubble up around your cuticle. That's because the oils that have been left on your nail start to break down the adhesive and cause your wraps to bubble. So nail prep is absolutely key to getting the perfect application. And I already have a video on that, so I decided that I wouldn't talk about that tonight, or I wouldn't go into great detail. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. I've already prepped my nails. I've already washed my hands in Dawn because Dawn fights grease, so that just helps remove some of that oil. And then I've also wiped my nails down with our nail prep cleanser. If you don't have the nail prep cleanser, you can use alcohol or pure acetone. Acetone's really, really drying, so I do like our nail prep cleanser for cleaning your nail beforehand. So, application. I always cut my wraps so they're ready to go. So I'm going to do my pinky here, and I'm just going to, I always recommend going a size smaller than what you think you need, because when you heat these up, they're going to expand a little bit. You don't want it touching your skin, and you don't want it touching your cuticle area, because again, that's oily and that's going to break down the adhesive on the nail wrap. If your wrap is too big, some people like to use Scotch tape and put it on their nail and just kind of trace around the cuticle area and then take it off, stick it on the wrap, and then they can cut that out. So they kind of use it like a template. I like to cut them down before I put it on, but if not, that's when these things come in really handy. So I'm just going to hold my pinky up here, and then I'm going to, actually I'm going to cut this off. It might be easier for you guys to see. All right, so this is what's left from my other pinky. So I'm just going to hold it up here and size it. So you can, this is a clear wrap, so it makes it a little bit easier to see. But I'm just going to hold it up, and you can see how much of it I need. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. And then I like to use tweezers, again, just to avoid getting any type of oil on the nail wrap, on the sticky side. So I'm just going to remove it with the tweezers, like this. And I'm actually going to apply it before I heat it. So I'm just going to get it initially stuck here. Now, if this isn't centered and I need to pick it up and move it, I can do that. I'm not locked in to the first placement. So I can pick it up and I can just kind of hold it and look at it and place it on my fingernail. Let's see here. Just like this. So it's centered on there. So then I take my soft tip cuticle pusher, and I am just going to push down and go straight from the cuticle to the tip, just down the middle. Then I'm going to take my heater and I'm going to heat one side of this just for a few seconds. You don't want to burn yourself. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to push down and forward. So down and forward. So one side is down. So then I'm going to heat the other side just for a few seconds. And again, I'm going to go down and forward. I'm going to take my cuticle pusher again and go around those edges really, really well. Just like that. And I'm actually going to leave this. I'm not going to cut it or file it off just yet because I want it to cool completely. If I file it before it's completely cool, then I'm going to have problems with my tips lifting. So I want it to completely cool before I do that. So then I'm just going to move on to the next one. And I'm going to cut, size and cut here. Remove it. Place it down the middle. Push it down the middle. Heat one side. Push down and forward. And then heat the other side. And push down and forward. So Kim, your question is, should I let my nails breathe for a day between applications? You do not need to let your nails breathe. This is a common misconception. Your nails are actually not living, so they don't need to breathe. It's basically dead keratin skin cells. I have been naked. My nails have been naked for a couple of days. Every once in a while I do go, I like to actually prep my nails the day before and then give them a good cuticle oil and let them go overnight, and then the next day apply my wraps. It kind of makes the process go a lot faster too. But to answer your question, no, you do not need to let them breathe in between applications. So I'm going to do my middle finger now. Just going to cut off what I need. One other thing I didn't mention is the curved side of the nail wrap goes up around your cuticle. Now, I'm going to place it here. If your cuticles are a little bit more square, you can trim that off and make it a little bit more flat at the top if you prefer. All right, so I'm going to push down the middle again. Heat one side. Push it down and forward. If your wrap is wrinkling, go down a size. It most likely means that your wrap is too large. Down and forward. What other questions do you guys have for me? I'm just about done. Now this one I know is going to be a little bit large for me, so I will show you what I do when that happens. So I'm going to place this, push it down the middle, and you can see, do you see where that's going to overlap onto my skin? This side. So I will take this and just kind of roll it up a little bit, like this. It's so weird, it's backwards. Okay, like this. And then I'll take the cuticle, the little scissors, and just trim that off. And again, I'm right-handed doing this with my left hand, so it's probably not the best cut. You can also use fingernail clippers if that's easier. I've only cut myself a few times. Okay, so that's much better. So I'm going to heat that side, and then I'm going to push down and forward. See? I'm going to heat the other side and push down and forward. And then I'm going to take this and just go around. I know it's hard to see. Just go around those edges. And then we just have my thumb left. As I drop my scissors. All right, see? Where are we here? All right. Push down the middle. Heat without burning yourself. Push it down and forward. And then I'm going to heat the other side and push it down and forward. And there they are. Let's see. It's okay if you have a little bit of your nail showing. I think on this one you can see nobody's going to be looking that close to you, and I would rather you have a little bit of nail showing than it be overlapping onto your skin. So there's that. Now, this one on the pinky here, I'm going to cut most of that off now. So then at the end, all I'm going to do is go back. I'm going to turn that heater off. And I'm just going to hold my fingernail file straight up and down and just file straight down. You don't want to go side to side because you don't want to push any of that dust back up under the wrap. And you don't want to go up because you're going to lift the wrap up. When I am ready to order the... Oh. Do you have a big selection at home? I do have quite a few. I do have a few. So depending on what you're looking for, I do. So we can definitely chat about that. The Westie wraps are super cute. I was going to design some more too. Those weren't my designs, but I did happen to come across that. Another consultant had posted them, and I was like, oh my gosh, those are so cute. And I know we have a lot of doggy lovers, so I wanted to make sure and post those. So, all right, so we're just going straight down here, and that extra just comes off. And I tend to shape my nails before, so that way I don't have to do a whole lot of filing at the end. That's it. It just comes right off. Now, after I'm done filing, I'll just run them in front of the heater again and do one last pressure. But that's it. It's so easy. After you do it a few times, you really get used to the process. My first application, we didn't have the mini heaters, so I used my hair dryer, and to my defense also, the wraps were a lot thicker, so they required a lot more heating than these, but it took me 2 hours. I'm not even kidding you. It was ridiculous. And trying to struggle with the hair dryer and applying them, the struggle was real. I was so excited when they came out with the mini heater. All right, they're done. So I'm just going to heat these up really quick one more time. And that's it. So I don't know if you know either, any of the clear wraps can actually be layered over another wrap or lacquer or polish or gel, and they can be worn over acrylics too. But look at this. I contemplated doing this as an application, but then I decided to just do the regular wraps. But look what happens when you layer them. You get like a completely different look. How cool is that? I love that. So you have so many different manis just in 2 sheets of wraps. It's crazy. And I love the ones that have multiple designs on them too. So later tonight, I'm going to use the cuticle oil, go through and put cuticle oil on my nails. I highly recommend cuticle oil, especially for you, Kim, if your hands are in water a lot. The cuticle oil is amazing, and I recommend using it at least in the morning and the evening. It's very moisturizing. I love it. Trying to think what else you guys might need to know. I'll go back live probably sometime next week and go over the removal process. That's one thing. You do not just want to peel the jams off. There is a proper way to remove them, and I will go over that next week. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to message me. I can't help you if I don't know that there's a problem, and I want you guys to all love these as much as I do because they're so much fun. Stay tuned to conferences coming up June 21st to the 24th, and I know that there's some amazing things coming, and I'm so excited to be able to share those with you. And I think that's all. That's all I got for you tonight. So message me if you need anything, and I will talk to you later. Bye!